decide if you go to Worlds next year, next split, or not. These points
make
are
the difference.
very, very important. 20 difference, 50 for the winner, 30 for the loser in this match here. And we had two teams saying before the whole thing started, getting third place is needed to save a season where we felt like we should have been in the final. Everything else will be disappointing. One of the teams is not going to be happy after this one.
Definitely not. Given turns on the rocket pressure, but Yarnan has quite a lot to trade with them. Start this one off. Everything looks to be normal lanes. I wouldn't be too surprised if that is the case.
No, that's fine.
Sing goes pretty far forward, but they've got enough to finish off that ward in the tri-brushes.
Yeah.
Well.
Funny how there's a lot of talk after Unicorns of Love versus SK Gaming about the lack of Jinx for Forgiven. It was never taken away from Vardax. Vardax and Hillersang ran this Jinx Morgana lane so many times, and the whole goal is reach level 6, land a binding from Morgana, and then you change CC from binding into trap into Morgana ulti. That chunks them down so much that when you fire your ulti on Jinx, you end up getting the execute and the kill. So it's a heavy, heavy CC burst lane. H2K is gonna try and counter swap them here. Go top lane, do the grump, match them in terms of XP. And also
without the deep wards too,
want.
it's SK not knowing exactly.
They're predicting the swap from SK.
They're gonna wait in the brush as well. They're not gonna start on the gromp, it looks like. They could put out some serious early damage with a forward position here. It looks like they will go to the second brush.
Yeah, might just have a little trap then, get the early trade, or maybe just start pushing the wave in. A lot of ways, they haven't shown themselves. So SK might feel like, okay, they're probably going to be on bottom side, they're probably doing the crooks. We're going to walk into the lane here and start pushing it. Yana now realizes, okay, I'm waiting a little bit too long for this one. And now SK has the XP advantage, which means if H2K decides to push this wave all the way up to the tower, SK will hit level 2 first and can start zoning away H2K, which can be a problem for them. Normally you don't want to push if you didn't do a camp at level 1. Now we have level 2, that's where SK can go aggressive.
It is indeed. We still had chunked them a little bit though to start this one off, and if they can't take advantage of that early level 2 start, it's going to be all for naught. Yarnan should hit that one soon enough with the
should have played that one way better for SK. Forgiven.
And then now it's gone.
Forgiven walked all the way back. Didn't want to be in auto attack trade range with the shield.
Oh.
This all in could have happened when H2K were level 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Heals popped on both sides. Yarnan is a lot lower than Forgiven, however. This is a very dangerous lane to be in up here in the top.
And potions being popped left and right.
Oh yeah.
And Red is out of potions now. He tanked up the jungle camp and the trades here, so he's out of sustain.
This is an edge to the H2K side.
Massive edge for them. Let's see what Sven can do.
Let's see if he can make the difference.
On the Lee Sin.
A ward in that tri-brush for H2K.
There's no flash. I'm lying to you. There are flashes. There's no wait now.
Yarnan uses his spell shield already, but he's very far forward. In comes Sven. A very timely Howling Gale, but that's going to force the flash out because Sing, they turn their attentions to him. Gank is unsuccessful, except for burning some key summoners.
Like the play from Kising. He walked in front of the Lee Sin to block the Q, knowing that he didn't have to flash. He could still stay alive. Therefore, only had to use the one from Yarnan here. Was too far up the lane, so some of the advantage has been lost slightly. But SK Gaming is still out of any sort of sustain in that lane here.
We haven't really talked about any lanes but this top one right now. Ryu been giving Fox a real hard time as an Ahri can to a Kassadin. Lane pushed in pretty heavily for Otoamne on the bottom side versus Freddy Shyvana as well. And still the pressure is on this top side. Svenskeren hanging around here. Throwing out the Krugs.
Yana is going to freeze the wave up in the top lane, which is really smart now that Forgiven had gone back to base. Don't want to push it in so he can get some of the farm, and he's going to get a second Dawn's Blade. Yana should be able to farm up for pickaxe, and then he suddenly has an item advantage once they push in the wave, and he goes back to base. Lane going to be even more in favor of H2K in that sense. Lolex obviously just been farming on the Sejuani. We haven't seen him do a whole lot in the early game in this series. It's been all about the team fights for him. And that's why I love to see him on Sejuani.
It has been a monstrous pick for him in that game. Let's see if it happens again. He's sitting on a ward right now. So SK are going to be quite aware of what is going on. Yarnan on his next back should definitely be able to afford that pickaxe. We'll see if he's able to make good on this one. The charm's going to come in on Svenskeren as he moves. Ryu, he's going to go back to base himself, but he is just fine.
Great charm for him. Flash has been forced, both mid laners used offensively from SK, defensively from H2K. Back in his top lane.
Garden's got the level advantage.
Yeah, he might just sit and farm up the BF sword at this point. He has 1100 gold. Only the Dawn Blade, second one for Forgiven here, so you can potentially force him back a second time very poorly, where he's now delayed. He's 1550 gold power spike. That BF Sven is gonna spot Lulex.
Lulex spots Sven after that one. Looks to jump onto him. Ryu's here too. Sven could regret this. The charm lands. That's gonna be first blood straight to Ryu.
Look at the minimap here. Your Cassidy is back in base. Your top lane, or your dual lane in the top, is not exactly winning the lane. And you invade into the enemy jungle with absolutely no support from your laners. Very easy for H2K to walk in, punish him, get that first blood on Ryu. So important for H2K. They're the ones who really want to get that early lead, force teamfights on H2K, on SK. It's been a long day, Pyra.
Oh, yes, it has. This is the thing. This is what's plagued SK for a while, that lack of vision. And you might even say, well, we'll talk about it in a minute because Fox is going to get charmed up as well. Ryu is looking to make it 2-0. He won't have the chance as Sven this time comes around to save the day. But going back to it, yeah, SK Gaming, you cannot make those kinds of mistakes. This H2K team, that's getting me too now, has just been so good at punishing missteps like that and oversight.
Simply just greedy play. Like in game 4, now we have that BF sword we talked about so much.
This is going to be a really big opportunity to trade. Kasing is forcing Forgiven back by himself right now. Let's take a look at this bottom side though, because Freddy and Otawamne are dueling it out. Freddy looks to have the better of it so far, but that could change on a dime. Otawamne still pushes him back from the farm.
So Forgiven now, look how low he is after this fight in the bottom side. He's forced to go back to base, only getting a pickaxe. He's been delayed so much in his core build. H2K can once again freeze the wave top if they want to and keep forcing trades against SK Gaming in the bottom lane. At some point as well, they can just put Lulex on the top side and just push in the wave to the tower. Jinx won't be able to hold it for long, and H2K can suddenly get a tower advantage if they want to later on, because the mid lane is still very much in their control. The Castellan's got level 6 now, can start pushing back a little bit, but you're not strong enough to really start roaming. Want more time on a Castellan scaling, and the bottom lane, as we have seen, that's just going even between the two. They're just power farming against each other. So you now have a stronger 2v2 lane. Use it, H2K. Use it to put pressure on the top side, on that tower. And deny Forgiven even more.
I think that
deep ward to step 1. Kasing going for it.
Kasing tosses a couple in, actually, yeah. Should be able to get away. Forgiven and Rated hanging out in the river brush.
Look at the top side. Double ping in the river. So you got all the protection you need for H2K. Triple deep wards to spot Sven. You can see everything going on that side. That's why they want to, or that's what the reason they're doing it is, again, as we talked about,
they can shut him down
Yanin
here.
Being ahead.
Lulex is there, Kasing is there, Sven gets spooked. Ryu is even coming in here. A whole lot of investment, and now Lulex is going to start off on the red himself as it resets. There's a teleport coming in. Otawamne, they want to force him back for this one. Forgiven, can he get under tower? He's going to go over the chompers. It's N-rated, they target, and it's N-rated, they take down. Now, looking at the tower dive, Forgiven knows he has got nowhere to go, and that is going to be the Glacial Prison grazing the edge of him as the heal comes in. Ryu will still pick him up. Lulex will still make it out. H2K, 5-man stack up in this top side. They get 2, and they look to get even more. After this, let's see what happens. Sven Skarin, oh so low. Forced to burn his flash on that one. As Otawamne forces them all back. H2K should pick up this tower in the top quite handily.
I love the whole setup from H2K. You know you're stronger on that side, so you invest a deep ward. You try to contest the red buff. You look for the fight. Oh. Rocket is on the way.
It's going all the distance. Will it connect? It does, but it's not enough to pick a kill on Otawamne. Oh boy, Freddy's going to be able to take this dragon down, so that is some consolation prize to SK Gaming. But man, oh man, is H2K turning up the heat.
Yeah, top tower now down to about 15%. You got all the kills you want here. 2 for Ryu. Rushing that loot and Zeko we see so often on Ahri. Great setup from H2K, showing how to push the advantage, how to play around your strongest player at the moment. and it paid off for them. They're going to return to lane. Forgiven still doesn't have a BF sword. He's sitting on 870 gold. He's been set so far behind on this Jinx. And he has to almost swap bottom lane now if he wants to do anything. But H2K is already there with their dual lane, trying to push that one in, get some more damage to slowly chip away on these outer turrets. Odoamne with time will be able to get the top lane on his own. H2K gonna try and match them now. Average blade, that's when you give up your early game and you just say, I just need to get some gold. I need to get that BF sword. I need everything I can to help me. Personally, I'm not a fan of it. I prefer just saving up for the BF sword because this one sets you even further behind with 800 gold. And you now aim for 2 item spike instead of the 1 with Infinity Edge by getting this average blade.
Yep, swapping down to the bottom. Yarnik and Sink are able to pick up the tower down there. Sven and Raiden and Forgiven are all around, but they cannot simply collapse. Freddy had given up his teleport, and Odoamne jumps on him here. This tower is close to being taken down.
And what does H2K do now? You push up the bottom lane, you go into the jungle of SK Gaming near the blue buff, you place a few more deep wards, and then you say, hello, Kassadin, do you have any wave clear? No, you don't? Okay, we're gonna take your mid tower. And suddenly all 3 outers are gone. H2K opens up the map, get multiple wards down, which you can use to TP on with a home guard Hecarim to start fights. And also you have the Sejuani, Lulex even playing it. And you just don't give SK Gaming a chance to sit back and farm. You just
or stay alive. Fox burning. Will he stay alive? It's Ryu. It's gonna be able to take him on another hit, but I think he won't make it out of this one. That shutdown gold over to Sven Skaren. The tower still stands, but not for much longer.
That doesn't count.
I mean, no, it really doesn't. Lulex, he thought about going in on that one, but even so, you've barely given anything back here. Yes, Sven definitely needed that gold. It helps him out, but the deep wards, this means they can rove around here. They can grab the control. Here comes the rocket. It's going very far. Will it be enough to take down Odoamne? Not quite.
Not quite. Gonna force him back, though, with this rocket here. Too unhealthy to stay.
But they've got 2 towers now.
Yeah. They're gonna get top turret as well whenever they want to. This tower is so low after the minions. Okay.
And they just take it.
It's probably gonna die to the minions now. Yeah, the minions doing work.
Just take it.
3 outer turrets, 4K gold lead, 12 minutes in. Kassadin needs to scale to late game. Jinx needs to scale to late game. Shyvana needs to scale to late game. SK Gaming should not even be allowed to get close to anything called late game with this start from H2K.
Not at all. They did manage to grab themselves a dragon. That was thanks to the efforts of Freddy after all of that movement up to the top side, but H2K should not allow them to get any more after this one. Ryu really starting to get out of control. 3-1-1 on this game. He has a hand in every one of the kills so far. We'll see if that continues.
Yeah. You keep the Hecarim top lane to keep pushing that one in. You have your Ahri either mid or bottom lane, so she's around the dragon, and you have that pick potential as well from SK. So you can either do 1-3-1 setup, use your fed mid lane, or you can do 1-4 and simply aim to land a charm or a Sejuani ulti when SK is trying to defend, because again, they have no proper wave clear, so they're gonna have to sit and auto-attack the minions. Sejuani throws an ulti, you put a charm in from Ryu and you one-shot someone, like they're dead, and the tower is yours. So H2K has so many options now of how they want to play this. As long as they keep applying pressure on SK, it can barely be the wrong move when you're this far ahead.
This is very true, although we did think that a bit last game, maybe for a beginning, but this is also a comp that should do quite well in the mid-game as long as H2K doesn't give up too much. If they don't get complacent like SK did last time around, this game is definitely theirs to take wherever they want it. Now, Freddy could be in some trouble. You see a flank coming around from Lulex. Will it be enough? Dragon's Descent is available. It's used, but there's no tower. He may juke out Lulex, but I don't think he can survive the 1v2 for very long. The pony is able to take him down. Sven Skaren coming in for revenge. The rest of SK Gaming at the rocket doesn't hit. Raises by Odoamne. Oh, some close calls.
Look towards the bottom lane. Yarnik pushing it in on his own here on this Sivir. He can fast push it very easily. We'll get some damage on the tier 2 at least. And all H2K is doing is basically waiting for Dragon to spawn so they can take that one away from SK Gaming. And then they start looking at pressuring these lanes here in the tier 2 towers. As soon as you get in these deep wards and you push all the lanes at once, SK Gaming, whenever they have to move between lanes, has to take the long way around. You walk all the way back to your inhibitor turrets, then you walk over to mid lane, then you walk down. It takes longer, obviously, then walking straight through the jungle of the enemy team, which H2K can do, and just always be in a numbers advantage, always get some damage, as long as they time the minion waves. And SK Gaming just has no answer at this point, with 0 wave clear, 0 damage.
No answer at all right now.
Now they got a BF sword on Forgiven, took 15 minutes.
And meanwhile, Fox had only just completed the Rod of Ages. It's not super far behind, but it's not ideally where you want to be at. Odoamne pushing back the top side again. He's got teleport available to him. Double smites on both sides, but I feel H2K definitely feeling more confident about that one, and with good reason to be. Odoamne should be able to easily back away from this one. The team moving to the Dragon side soon, with that one coming right back up. Yeah. SK, however, are roaming together, and they're not going to give this up for free.
So SK has timed the blue buff pretty well, and seem to be expecting Ryu to be on that blue buff. That's why they can move into Dragon. They should not be allowed to get this one. If they started, look at Odoamne sitting in base. He's TPing behind them. We're going to get a fight.
We are going to get a flank indeed. Svenskeren is going to hop over. And here is Odoamne for the rest of them. The Ice Prison won't be quite enough, but they do get the slowdown as Odoamne now is going to ult back in. Dragon's Ascent the rocket doesn't go anywhere. And then still no one's taken down just yet, but Ryu is about to change that. Picking off Svenskeren. One smite is down. Freddy now, they're targeting him out as the rest of the team moves away. Freddy backed against the wall. Nowhere to go. And H2K come up with a quick 2 kills. Moving towards the mid.
Gonna get that mid tower as well. Kassadin back in base. Great TP coming in for H2K. They just wanted to fight. Didn't even matter if they were out of position or anything. They just wanted to fight. We see the power. Lud and Zeko rush Ari. Once Ryu joins, everyone from SK just drops low.
And there's no teleport now on Freddy, so they can very safely take this Dragon. Yes, Odoamne backed, but he'll be back pretty quickly to try and pick off this Dragon. H2K will secure number 1, and SK just can't do much to contest this. A lot of wards littering their jungle too. Well, they can try.
SK has full HP. They've been back to base. They've been able to reset. Kasing is very low, so H2K wants to disengage now.
Yeah, they do. Kasing, he could go down. He does. It's Fox who picks him up, but Odoamne, they're still forcing the fight. They've targeted out Forgiven. Forgiven goes down. That's not worth at all. And raided. The Soul Shackles are out, but it won't be enough. They take him down. Ryu is gonna get picked up. Svenskeren will get the credit for that one, but Fox is soon to fall after. A double kill for Odoamne. 2 for 3, but the Dragon secured by H2K, and Lulex.
Jungle fight.
He's still going. Flash. Okay. Crazy escape by Sven.
Crazy escape.
But that shouldn't have been necessary. Even with the full HP, they didn't have the number advantage quite when they needed it. Let's take a look at how that fight before shook out, though.
Yeah, so with SK moving down to this Dragon, which they shouldn't even get close to, with how far ahead H2K are. At first, it looks okay. Quite a lot of damage onto H2K, but wait for Ryu. He's going to come down here in the bottom of your screen. Look at the Lud and Zeko damage from him as well, and suddenly, people just drop down. SK realizes there's nothing they can do to win the fight, and gives up 2 kills and the mid lane tower for it.
You know how the rest has gone so far. Meanwhile, Forgiven is caught by Ryu in the mid lane. Isolated, goes down.
Look at that last fight as well. I know SK is behind, but the difference between a Hecarim coming in and a Shyvana who has no way of really jumping into H2K when there's a Janna in the way. This hurt SK so much early in the series, and they picked it again into Janna. Janna was first pick from H2K. It is so hard for Freddy to do anything, and it just makes this pick look really weak, honestly.
Does indeed. Now the tower in the top being fired down. Dark Binding won't hit. Freddy is charmed and knocked up, so he can't run into the team. He's going to still have to back away. A lot of damage dealt there. Fox is going to have to take his Rift Walk backwards. H2K muscling out SK out of their own jungle. Ryu takes position in the brush, has to back out. Tormented Soil underneath. But they are still on the tower.
It just looks like you just throw in the ult and you get a kill and you get a tower.
Easily. SK, they've got limited options to try and defend this. It's going down one way or another, and that is the way it goes. Garden will get the credit on that tower. Taken down. Take a look at the score right now. 5 towers to the none that SK have managed to get this game. H2K are making a statement here. After going down 2 games in the opener of this series, Deficio, they are on the brink of taking it all the way back. A reverse sweep to claim 3rd place in the European LCS this spring.
Just very, very surprising to see a team like SK who has was so good at playing the early game, playing that style. In the last game of this split for them, they completely ignore the early game and just pick a full scaling composition despite having 0 success on it against Unicorns of Love in the semifinals. They go back to it. And while, I mean, I guess if you have a perfect team fight and you get a few kills on your Kassadin and on your Jinx,
may not be enough.
I mean, yeah, not even that is going to be enough. H2K will still be ahead, and they're just so far away, so far ahead of SK. We're going to have to see some crazy pick and some big mistakes from H2K there to lose this game.
This is what SK is trying to force. They're chasing down targets, but they're leaving their flanks open. Ryu is able to grab a tower on the bottom side. SK are just being bled out here, and there is no way to answer H2K's objective-focused gameplay and very smart critical thinking in this one. SK is just not playing optimal.
No, and just looking at the first 2 picks from SK, it's what H2K did. Said, oh, pick Kassadin Jinx. Okay, here's Heavy Engage, here's a Sejuani, here's a Sivir. We are just gonna force fights over and over and over in the early to mid game, and you will never be able to fight us. So either you surrender your towers and your jungle completely, or you die. So it's just very smart pick and ban phase for H2K, and a very bad draft for SK with the way they like to play, and with the 2 early picks showing the entire composition from the get-go, with Kassadin and Jinx coming in.
Haven't really let them get much of anything. Forgiven 0-3-1 on this Jinx. He's still not on the BF, or not on the Infinity Edge, excuse me. As he picks up, he had his second boots. He still has the Avarice Blade, but he's hurting for some damage. Missing the rockets hasn't helped either. But SK Gaming as a whole, they have the scaling on their side if they can hold out, but the problem is they're already down 10,000 gold. It's 22 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
That is an absolutely massive lead. Look at the damage that Yarnin is able to do. They're moving even further in. Forgiven forced to flash away from this one. The zap, the Dark Binding to push them even further back, but that's still just gonna buy some time. It's another minute on the next dragon. But H2K, they control this map.
Yeah, they can go Baron if they want to and just force SK into a fight, or take it for free. It doesn't even matter now for H2K. No flash for Forgiven. He's going to be a fairly easy target. Ryu setting up a little trap.
Yep, he gets the charm. Black Shield not going to do too much as the Baron is at half its health already. Svenskeren looking for a smite fight. He's going to be able to do it. The kickback. Wait, not quite enough. He's going low. He's going down. The rocket's intercepted. The Baron is secured. Fox trying to salvage the situation, but it won't do a thing. Yarnin now will go down to Freddy, and Rated and him are tearing through Ottawamne as well, but they've still managed to secure it. Will Ottawamne live through this one? No. It's a double kill for Freddy. And Lulex falls too.
I thought he was out.
Okay. So Ryu is the only survivor with the Baron buff, but still, H2K didn't give that one up.
SK made the best out of the situation for them.
Absolutely.
Getting 4 kills for it. Ryu didn't manage to one-shot Svenskeren at first, so he was almost out of the fight. And they were tanking the Baron. Freddy got in on this Giovanna, finally got into the team. Let's see what happens. So Sven doesn't get a one-shot here. H2K is tanking up the Baron. Kasing goes down. So now
Sven dies mid-jump because Lulex intercepts him.
Finally, Freddy gets into the team together with the rest of SK and start chasing up. And with tanking the Baron, with Ryu not being a big part of the fight as well, H2K does surrender quite a lot of kills. Not sure what Lulex is doing.
Not sure.
I mean, right here, you just run out and you say, okay, we saved 2 people, but no. For some reason, that was a bit weird there. One a little bit more.
SK Gaming are going to take this opportunity to try and force the dragon.
TP.
There is a TP from Ottawamne, though. They should be on
Forgiven has no flash, remember.
Forgiven still got no flash available. They're going to go in, secure the dragon, and then turn the fight around. Forgiven might be safe for now, and Svenskeren just moves right on through them. This fight is going all kinds of hectic, but they've already managed to secure up and Rated. As Svenskeren comes in, he gets knocked up immediately and has to flash his way out. Freddy is going to be going down. Fox is going to try to finish Ryu. He doesn't have enough. The shield comes in to keep him alive. That's going to be 4 kills on the board. They're going to be able to secure the ace after this one. No way Forgiven makes it out. That's the ace, and they get the dragon. H2K thundering back.
Everything. The only thing we've been in this game in favor of SK was those 4 kills at that Baron. Now we're back to the style we've seen all game long. H2K using their insane engaged composition to just roll over SK Gaming. There's no damage yet on their side. It's going to be inhibited down. 25 minutes in. Things are looking so great for H2K.
Yeah, things are looking
And we got another Ardent Sensor for Kasing. I mean, that guy,
he's
he
got
doesn't
the
care.
but this time he also built
He got the Soul Steal
also
this
built the
time.
Soul Steal,
That's
but
true.
he died. So it wasn't worth the Fischio.
Not yet.
Oh, I mean, it is now because they just got an ace, but...
Yeah, he's on 8 stacks.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
He'll be all right.
It's
It's
gold
worth it.
efficient. It's gold efficient. And then I do wonder if it's a serious build for him or if it's something he likes to do when they are pretty far ahead. I mean, if you do buff your AD carry with it, it does give you quite a lot of pushing potential on a tower. Now that you already are so far ahead, you shield up your AD carry, gets the attack speed, and then you can, of course, take it down a little bit faster. But that's about the only thing he's really gaining from it. AP is obviously great on the Janna, but
that helps. So they were able to push out a little bit more thanks to Ryu. He was the lone surviving member with the Baron buff. And that's gone now. We'll head back to base after clearing out some in the top side. But this H2K team, you said it, hitting the nail on the head. Insane engage composition. It's something that SK just cannot handle when they're chased down. Forgiven still doesn't have this flash, and Odoamne has the damage. Forgiven won't make it out of this one. Odoamne picks him up. Kasing was burning, but he is going to make it out too. And Odoamne comes around the side. How about a double kill? And now they're turning on the mid.
Now you got the Ardent Sense on your AD carry. You push on that tower faster than normal. Look at that shield from Kasing. Look at the attack speed.
Oh yeah, they've got all that they need to keep rolling forward. Inhibitor number 2, the one in the middle, that's going to be taken down by H2K. There's no one really here to defend. A parting shot from Enrated with the Dark Binding. They might want to end this right here, Deficio. Nexus turret's going down. Their death timers aren't that high, but they've got enough time. They've got enough damage. They want to end this one here. It's not yet 27 minutes. We've seen some close games today, but this one just might take the cake. It's going to go down to the wire, but the Nexus is going down. H2K are the number 3 team in Europe.
Being down 2-0, it looked like SK Gaming had all the answers to H2K. And then we see a complete change in the way they were playing from that game 3, where we got to see Odoamne rumble, the backline snipe, and every single pick and ban phase. Not every single one, but at least the last one here.
Quite a lot of them.
Was so strange from SK. Why do you go away from the style that's worked for you all split long into a full late game setup where you have no answers the first 30 minutes to anything H2K can do? They matched the swap top lane. They got the 2v2 lane. It worked in their favor. Ryu and Ari got massively fed, obviously. And then we just look at how good H2K can be when it comes to closing out games. And we saw in game 4 how cool they can keep it, look for enemy mistakes, and then punish them to get back in the